Let's dive into the principles and start with reciprocation.
So, um, the first principle I talk about is very an early one in the socialization process. In all human societies, we are trained to live by a particular rule, the rule of reciprocation, that says we are obligated to give back to others who have first given to us. Right? That's the way that the society best functions and allows people the freedom to give first with the knowledge that they're not giving something away. I mean, for the first time in evolutionary history, all the species besides us never had the concept of future obligation to return what has been provided to them. But when we have that rule in place, it allows us the freedom to give resources, attention, care, and so on to others with the recognition we're not losing it. That person is obligated to give back to us when we need something. It's a fair exchange. It's a great system. So we give first. And I love a new study that was done, not even published yet. It was done in McDonald's, uh, actually in the countries of Colombia and Brazil, where researchers, in fact, my colleague Steve Martin, who it runs our office in UK and was commissioned to do this study in South America, did a study where for a week, every family that came into the McDonald's locations, the children got a balloon from the McDonald's management. Half of them got the balloon as the family was leaving as a nice thank you for their for coming into McDonald's and purchasing food. The other half got the balloon. Each kid got the balloon as they entered. Those families bought 25% more food because they had been given something first. First is the key. First means it's not the usual behavioral model that we use in business, which says, if you buy my product, if you sign my contract, right, I promise I will give to you the very best service or merits of the offer that I can provide. That means the customer has to go first. This is saying something else. We have to go first. We give value in some way. Easily, the way to do it that's least costly is to give information to people about things that will improve their outcomes in any given situation. White papers, tips about the top 3 things to do to improve their outcomes in something, not based on our product or service. If it's designed to tell them how to buy us or why they should, then it's seen as a device, not a gift, not a favor. If we do that, people are now readied to give back to us. So the rule for reciprocation, that's the
I,
first.
I have a friend who summarizes this as go positive, go first.
Go positive, go first. That's right. Uh,
So why is it we don't do more of that?
I think people are afraid, they don't recognize the power of this rule. And they're afraid that by going first and giving resources, giving time, giving attention, giving samples, and so on, they might just be losing that. They're not cognizant of the fact that there's such a strong rule in every human culture that says you must not take without giving in return. They really don't register the power of that rule, but it is formidable.
And there's different types of things that we can give. Gifts come to mind, maybe concessions in a negotiation. What are the other types that we can think of when reciprocation is at play?
So, for example, you're right about concessions. There's research to show if, and we've done some research, if we walk up to people and say, listen, would you be a long term blood donor and give a unit of blood every 6 weeks for the next 2 years? A very large request, right? A starting offer. Everybody said, no, I don't even know where I'll be in 2 years. I can't make that. And we said, oh, well, then would you give 1 unit tomorrow during the local blood drive in your neighborhood? We go from 33% of people who agree to give the next day, right? If that's the only thing we ask them, to 55% if we retreat to that. We make a concession. Oh, so you can't do the 2 year thing that we would most like, but would you do this one thing? So now we go from 33% to 55% compliance. And by the way, we staff the blood services organization. We have observers there. They show up. It's not just that they say, no, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that because they want to get us away. No, they show up.
Well, that goes to commitment and consistency, which we'll talk about a bit later.